Okay, this video is a continuation of the previous video where we used getElementsByTagName. In this video, we are just using the exact same event snippet that we got from Google Ads right there. That's all that's in this box. I also gave it a name. In the previous video, I didn't give it a name. It's called button click conversion. Let's just update that to make sure everything is updated. We also were looking at this page. We didn't have access to this button. In this video, we do have access to this button, and it's a relatively simple thing to do, which is put an ID on that button, and then every time somebody clicks it, record a Google Ads conversion. That's the goal of this video. So all we have to do is find the place where this button lives, and this can be quite complicated, and I don't say it to mean like all we have to do. It can be complicated. For example, I was using a shortcode plugin to create this button previously. That shortcode plugin, well, I'll just show you. Look at this. If I click button, I don't have the option to set an ID. I also don't have the option to add an on-click HTML event attribute. That's what this is. This is an on-click HTML attribute. If you have access to just doing this, your life will be a million times easier. But in WordPress, let me show you real quick. In WordPress, if you try to do that, let's go down to the bottom here. We will enter. We add an on-click event, my function, right? And let's say we switch back to visual, and then back to text. Guess what? That button had the on-click event HTML stripped out of it. So, that's the problem with working with CMSs. That's also the problem when you're using shortcodes like that. So here is one way to do it. I basically converted it to the same button that's up at the top here by just looking at the HTML, grabbing it. Here we go. So now we need an ID. So let's take a look at adding an ID. So we have the button right here. Let's give it an ID. ID equals double quotes space. Let's just name it Amazon click. I don't know. That'll work for me. So this is the name. Okay, now let's save. Let's switch back. And let's switch back to text to make sure it didn't just strip it out. Right here. So that's good. Let's switch back to visual. Hit save. Okay. Now what we want to do is go into that page. So we're editing this page right now. And we're going to create a getElementById JavaScript script. This is how it looks. So it's very similar to the previous one. Instead of getElementsByTagName, we don't have to do that fancy indexing or anything. This will only fire on the product pages, and since I only have one product page, it's only going to fire on that one page. Footer, put it in the footer, and then we're just getting the element by the ID. We named it Amazon-click. We add an event listener like last time. You can get away with not putting event in here, and then we just want to simply add that gtag -report -conversion, and then we tell it where to send it. That's all. Hit update. Again, like in the last video, let's refresh this. Let's take a look here. That acted a little weird. Let me just refresh. Okay, everything's looking fine. Same tags. Let's hit record. I'm going to refresh again. Now we're going to click this button. It's the moment of truth. We went to the page we wanted to go to. Let's stop the recording. Let's show full report. And we do see Google Ads conversion tracking. So this is when we this was the page load when we first loaded the page. This is an event in the middle, and we recorded the conversion, and then we went here to page load 3 to our Amazon listing. So that is how we did it using getElementById. The next one, we will use getElementsByClassName, so I can show you how to select it from the class name that we saw when we were looking at this here.